Let's start. Five, four, three, two, 1, 0. Let's start.
Good evening, welcome to the Nighttime Heat rated on Prom FM 105.5. We are streaming live as usual on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap a Nighttime Heat. You're going to watch the show online and, of course, going to enjoy the show as well. We are also streaming live on Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. Again, you can watch the show online using the Prom FM platform. That is the Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. And you also enjoy the show. Well, wanted to share the show tonight, share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program as well. What's up, George is my name. The Nighttime Heat promises to be very interesting tonight. And of course, let me just acquaint you with what is coming up on the program. Well, the Liberian government has debunked reports that a leaked controversial report on the drug cartel was presented to President Joseph Human Boyka. What the president office said, the press office said that the president didn't receive any report, has been widely reported. Also coming up, there's more pushbacks on the HOR additional 16 seats. That's the House of Representatives. Has passed on 16 additional seats, and that has been sent to the Center for Concurrence. And so, but there are many individuals who think that that decision by the House is unconstitutional and inappropriate. We're going to talk about that tonight on the program. CDC COP Chairman Foden Massaquoi, understand, has been picked up and slammed behind bars. He's supposed to be going to court, but we're hearing some quarters that it has to do with the planned July 17 protest. But we're also reading that his action was as a result of a lawsuit slammed against him by the managing director of the National Port Authority, Sekou Dukle. And so we're going to talk about that tonight as well on the program. Also, my panelists and I will be trying to figure out, is that really a reconciliation between the VP, Cone, and Wilmer Payne? Considering some of the profound allegations raised by Wilmer, by the latter, that's Wilmer Payne. So we're going to look at that. And of course, we're going to play some of the videos. Wilmer opened his mouth and spoke a lot and talked a lot, made startling revelations and all of that. But we're hearing that both of them met and we understand that they smoked peace pipe. How true is it? Is it superficial or is it realistic? We're going to talk about that tonight on the program. Let me welcome my panelists who are here for now. I know the rest will join us very shortly. Desmond Wion, Mr. Wion, welcome to the program.
Good evening, Sabo, and good evening to our many listeners, our viewers, and also to our technician, as well as my co-panelist. Sabo, I always believed, and I think it is what imperative for a modern democracy. It is the right to information, and that is why I always deem it necessary to be part of the conversation. So it's good to be here, and I look forward to having a very interesting conversation as always.
Okay, thank you. Let me also welcome George Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sawa. Good evening. I want to say good evening to my co-panelists. Mr. Wihan is here. I hope the rest of the team, I hope Mr. Sandy will be on. And also to our many listeners, our followers on the social media. We want to say please share so others can have the opportunity to follow. Thank you to our technicians behind the scene who have been doing extremely well. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Expecting Moses also to join us, and I know David Benedictus Rasmus Namwita will also join us very shortly. But like I said, again, listeners, let me just acquaint you, listeners and viewers, let me just acquaint you what is coming up. The Liberian government has debunked a report that a leaked controversial report on the drugs cartel was presented to the president. Well, the Office of the Press Secretary released this press statement just a few minutes ago, and of course, I want to read that and talk about that as well. Also, the leaked controversial report to understand named former DA boss Ibrahim Kromah has been, one of those, parts of the cartel. So we thought to reach out to him, and we understand that he will shortly be in studio with us because he promised to come this evening. Well, there's more pushbacks on the House of Representatives concerning its additional 16 seats. The House passed on that yesterday. There was a committee report and submitted, passed it over to the Senate for concurrence. So we're hoping that we're looking forward to whether the Senate going to concur with that or not. CDC COP chairman for the massacre was picked up later this afternoon. I think this is the second time being arrested. But there are individuals who are attributing his arrest to the July 17 protest that's coming up, organized by Stand and the COP and the rest of them. But what we're reading also, it has to do with a lawsuit filed against him by the managing director of the National Police Authority, Sekou Dukle, from documents that we are reading as well. Also, coming up on the program, we're going to try to figure out whether there's a reconciliation between VP Cone and Wilmer Pay, considering the profound allegations raised by Mr. Pay. Did he really retract all of those things he said? And that's the reason why sometimes people say, well, you gotta be careful. You don't talk too much. You don't talk too fast. Is he saying now that all of those things he said against the vice president were all fallacy, or do we still believe them? We're going to talk about that tonight also on the program. Let me welcome David Benedictus Erasmus. David Tagba, is still struggling to get the award, the $200 United States dollars, because he's not consistent nowadays. And that point where you find.
Put this thing on.
Dave, welcome to the program.
I just came running and I'm still breathing fast. He's want to introduce me. Is this guy on?
Yes,
am I on?
Yeah,
okay, I'll say okay. So good evening, Sobo. Thank you for the show. In the meantime, I just said let me take a nap and just let you carry me. Before I clean myself 2 minutes to 8 o'clock, so I just started running here. But however, it's always a pleasure to be on the show, and I'd like to say good evening to my fellow panelists, Georgie, who is already here. Not you now, Josh Kennedy.
Yeah.
And Moses, I don't know whether he's online, Mr. Family or Councilor Family or Anthony Law Family, who I believe is on his way. I'd like to also say good evening to AB and others who are taking care of the technical part of the show.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Thank you again. Let me just again bring it up to speed with what we'll be talking about. We understand the Liberian government has just released a statement debunking reports that some controversial leaked confidential report was presented to the president. And of course, that report was about the cartel. But let's try to read. And of course, the report also named, we understand, A.B. Kromah, as one of those involved with the cartel. But A.B. will be coming in a moment from now. We understand that he's anywhere around to come and state, basically what he knows. Who's the author of the report? Who really want to know? But let me read exactly what the Office of the Presidential Press Secretary released, and we can begin with that while we await Obi Kromah. Executive Mansion rejects Front Page Africa's claims on purported confidential intelligence report submitted to the president. The Office of the Presidential Press Secretary at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs categorically denies the claims contained in Front Page Africa July 15, 2026 publication alleging that President Joseph Yuma Boakai Sr. received a confidential intelligence report on September 19, 2025, warning of extensive drug cartel infiltration within the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency and predicting Liberia's emergence as a narco state. The presidency wishes to state unequivocally that President Boakai did not receive and has not received to date any such purported report referenced by the newspaper. Any suggestion that such a document was submitted to the president, and if not, is false, misleading, and entirely without factual basis. The publication relies on an unverified document whose authenticity has never been established nor corroborated by the office of the president, presenting allegations as established facts without verification has the potential to mislead the public, erode confidence in public institutions, and to undermine responsible public discourse. The public is therefore advised to dismiss and reject these false claims, which appear calculated to misinform citizens and divert attention from the significant efforts being undertaken by this administration to confront drug trafficking and transnational organized crime. The Boakai administration has consistently demonstrated through both policy and action that combating illicit drugs remains one of its foremost national security priorities. Since assuming office, President Boakai has taken decisive measures to strengthen Liberia's response to narcotics trafficking and substance abuse. Among these actions, the president voluntarily subjected himself to a public drug test as a demonstration of transparency, accountability, and his commitment to leading by example. He subsequently encouraged officials of government to do likewise as part of a broader effort to promote integrity and public confidence. Now, this press release is very, very long. We can exhaust everything. But, gentlemen, there has been this report about a leaked confidential report, which, according to the Front Page Africa, and quoted by other online institutions, media institutions, quoted that the president did receive this this document, this report, far in advance before what we seeing today or what we hearing today. Now, the executive mansion has dismissed in the strongest term those claims by the Front Page Africa and other media institutions. Let's hear your take, Mr. William.
Well, it is important. Most often, we always in a position to state for the record, especially when there are times to act, and you don't act in the kind of given instances. Then it points to the fact of efficiency, inefficiency in terms of governance structure. On this identical point, I must appreciate the office of the presidential press secretary, especially for the timely response relating to this matter of national urgency. In the midst of perceptions, controversies about the ongoing investigations, it is necessary for government institutions to communicate with the public timely and effectively. And that is why they reported, security report being submitted to the president. We have been following that just about in the last 24 hours, which is a day ago. We've been following that, and today, the office of the presidential press secretary have come up to issue a disclaimer or a rebuttal to that report. That does not only point to effectiveness in public communication, they also demonstrate responsible leadership. So I want to be very blunt to acknowledge my open, not acknowledgement for the office of the presidential press secretary in terms of the position and what. So now it is upon the Front Page Africa, who has been the original source of that report, to better justify or prove the authenticity of a report to the public, to say, look, the report the source of what we reported at this date, this is it, and be able to convince the public in terms of what they have, whether it is official and authentic.
Okay. All right. So let's hold it there. We'll continue with the discussion. In fact, we already have in studio the former head of the DA, whose name, in fact, was also mentioned. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk with Colonel A.B. Kromah for years coming for a few minutes or an hour. But Dave, before we go to him, let's hear from you. The executive mansion has come up to say, look, absolutely no intelligence report was submitted to the president because according to the Front Page Africa, that was done since the 19th. Let's hear from you.
Let me disclose that I was one of the first journalists that contacted Mr. Colonel Abraham Kromah upon reading that Front Page Africa piece that they published on the social media. And because we felt that it was very newsy and we wanted to make use of it. So we wanted to talk to A.B. Kromah to do a balanced story on that. But unfortunately, he did not pick up, or he did not respond to our message to him. But however, it's good that he's here. It's good that he's here.
So you took care of the story?
No, why would I carry when I didn't talk to him?
No, I was just asking.
No, I didn't talk to him because I called him, he didn't pick up. I sent him a message, he didn't reply. But it's good that you smartly invited him.
Yeah, sure.
He's here. But few days ago, we had a conversation around this issue about Front Page Africa. And some of us, the position we took was questioned that, this is not the first time that Front Page Africa has been embroiled in such a situation when it comes to professionalism. I recall that there was a similar story that he wrote that took him to prison. I'm talking about Rodney Smith, the Front Page Africa publisher. And so based on that, we were questioning the authenticity of the report. He came up a few days ago, and I wouldn't remember the nature of that report. But here we are again. He came over for a leak report, a purported leak report, naming A.B. Kromah, and even created an impression that leak report emanated from the executive mansion. Now that the executive mansion has reacted or replied or reacted to that report and said that it's false, it's misleading. So that means that the story or the leak report is something that was fabricated because somebody wants to, I remember again, I said that Ronnie said and others, including opposition politicians, they want to make heroes of themselves, capitalizing on this issue of the drugs, these drugs that we're talking about. They want to use the situation, to make heroes of themselves.
Okay, let me hold you there. All right, George, Mr. Kennedy, quickly before we go to
Thank you. And I think what you said. You saying I. It was really you and I on the
Okay,
show,
okay.
and we're being debunked by some people who said it more journalists than us.
Uh-huh.
Rodney called me to work with Front Page many years ago. I refused because I work with the Daily Observer. For me, integrity is what got some of us poor today because we refuse to mortgage our integrity.
No,
We
you're not
have no
forgetting.
regret for that. The Crystal incident, the Army war on money, the $2 million incident, still remember at the Daily Observer when that story came up. He was quoting the GAC report. We told him the GAC report did not form any legal basis to say someone stole. And he didn't listen. And the story went to court. And he wrote my boss, Kenneth Best, that one made Mr. Best to publish in the Daily Observer at the time. Mr. Best told him to apologize for Mr. Chris because Mr. Toe, at that time he was agricultural minister, and Rodney refused. When he wrote the apology, he refused to admit that he wrote the apology. So Mr. Best decided to publish the apology in the Daily Observer. It brought some problem. God, his nephew. It brought some problem. Mr. Best does not compromise integrity. Front Page Africa has been embroiled in a lot of issues that have even led good number of their best reporters to even depart. One of them running the investigator right now. Let me disclose this: when Lina Dudu came to the Daily Observer, one of those who helped to prop him up. Let me really say that he can say that anytime publicly. And today he's running one of the best newspapers in the country. So I'm proud of myself as a president too, who helped him to prop him. This is fishing expeditions, as Mr. CA is on, in my opinion. He won't show any facts. He take him to court, he win the international war. They say you have taken the journalists to court, people persecuting media. That's a war. That's what he wants to do. And the media is not above the law. Article 15 of the Constitution. I'm not looking at any of those Table Mountain Declaration, Camara Act, because under our jurisprudence, the Constitution suffices above all of those laws.
That's right.
Article 15 of the Constitution is clear. I'm not a lawyer. I hope one day to enter that law school. I don't have the next year to enter, but Article 15 suffices. It says in the simple English, it says you have the right to say anything you want to say, or even about other people, but if what you're saying injures those people, they have the right to take you to court, and you will pay the price for what you say about them.
In other words, you are responsible for whatever
you say, whatever you do, whatever you say. We shouldn't use this microphone, our training, our profession. We shouldn't use this radio, the print media to get at foes. Journalists don't have foes. Journalists don't have enemies. Journalists are people who should be open to everybody. Even if I don't like you in my heart when I really write the story, I should remove that hate and balance the story.
Okay,
that's
so
why I'm observing.
Let me hold you there. I think
you've
spoken on that.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have our guests already in studio. Mr. A.B. Kroma, widely known, in the security sector. Mr. Kroma, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasing pleasure to be in the face and the ears of your listening public.
So, listeners and viewers, kindly share the show. We are streaming live on Prime FM on Rovia 105.5. That's the Prime FM online platform. We are also streaming live on our own platform, online platform. That's the Nighttime Heat Facebook and YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat. You're going to follow the show online. Tonight, our guest is Colonel A.B. Kroma. And of course, you'll be answering some of our questions, answering questions regarding the confidential intelligence report concerning the cartel. First, let me ask you, Mr. Kroma. Let me welcome Moses Sandy. Moses just joined us also online. Let me welcome Moses Sandy quickly. Moses, welcome to the program. We're about to take our guest in.
Thank you so much for the.
Okay.
And let me say hi to my friend and brother A.B. Kroma, and I would like to weigh in.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy. Now, first, Colonel Kroma, let me ask you this way. You served at the DEA for some time, besides being in the security sector. Did you at any time come across this widely spoken about confidential intelligence report on drug cartel, did you?
Well, thank you very much. And just I will answer your question. Let's put it in context. Back in the days, there was issue that came out of us leaving the DEA. That include considering all of the tantrums and kofofo that ensue our presence. And then while we're there, when situations start to erupt, I started to see the situation between Fadiga, Bawuko, and myself. When things started to go down the hill, they start to create these little cells in the place, creating their own little understanding of things. Guys who didn't like me, who didn't like people who actually were in the DEA and who actually saw me as somebody who's trying to exert my effort into the process there. And so they start to create their own little cell in there. And it's not an established, I didn't sanction anything as far as this situation. There was nothing like that. It was just few guys who were just throwing tantrums, who creating these kind of issues there. So when we left the, long matter short, when we left the situation, after there was this information about cells, the people having all of these concern about cartel and all of these situations, which was not true as far as I was concerned. As far as I'm concerned, I was one of the most reported chief of DEA there, because at least the record shows that I prosecuted a known drug dealer who was now in jail, serving a couple of years sentence in jail. That is a fact. That's the history. And when I did that, Fadiga and the rest of the guys were never there. They were never around. But then they were still going through that confirmation process. When I took over, because the intelligence came and the intelligence was actionable, we acted on it and we arrested the guy, protected the evidence, all of the information we had, and we took the guy to court and the guy was convicted. That's my history. That's my record. And so to do that, it required a lot of tenacity, a steadfastness as far as integrity was concerned. We did that without interfering. So to start to create this tantrum, the guy, now you might go there with your information as far as the guy that Front Page Africa put in their photograph, a guy called Ayuba Kruma. Now, Ayuba Kruma was one of the action agents, guys who wanted to join the DEA, who provided voluntary service. He came here big, huge. He thought that he could come and contribute. He worked for the DEA. He worked for the Director General, my office. And at the time, he was somebody who I could rely on because he provided actionable intelligence. He can go places, he can raid, he do a lot of stuff. When Fadiga came, Fadiga took him over, started working with Fadiga.
But you recruited him.
Well, he was recruited when I was DEA director. I didn't recruit anybody.
You didn't recruit him? Okay.
No, I didn't recruit anybody. Everybody that came to the DEA, the guys who came, who wanted to join the DEA, and I picked on people who basically wanted I thought were genuine. He worked for the operation department. They went to raid, provided protective shield for some of us, for our own office as well. And long matter short, when I left the DEA, he still remained in the DEA. Actually, he worked for Honorable Yaga Koluba at the time as a bodyguard, who was very effective as well with this guy. There was no history of drug dealing. There was no history of working for cartel at the time. And when he came to us, there was no history of cartel. There was no history of drugs, relation, nothing. Matter of fact, this is the guy they're talking about. This is the guy that arrested Bogu Raw, but that actually were in a whole Bogu Raw situation. That is seen Ayuba Kruma we're talking about. So to now today come and turn as a drug, as somebody who working for the cartel, it baffles me. And nobody ever had the understanding that this guy was this person.
Okay, so back to my question then. Did you, while you were maybe at the DEA or after you left, but while you were there, did you come across any confidential intelligence report?
No, not at all. I only heard that Fadiga, I heard there was a report written by Fadiga, the resident, to the told issues that they had. And then when that report, we're trying to dissect it and see, there was no validity in that particular report. That's the
It
same.
was prior to the confusion between amongst you people.
No, after the confusion between us,
Okay.
it came to light. And then he wrote a report, an information brief. He sent it out, spread it to newspapers and everybody around. And in one of those like hush, 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 no kind of situation. It went out. I didn't bother much. I thought it was just one of those little things trying to get at somebody. So he did it, and we come to realize that there was no validity, there was no truth in any of them. And that same history, the same pattern, the same analysis, the same understanding he had, except this one that went to Mr. Rodney C. This one went into ChatGPT. And then he gave ChatGPT correct prompt. It tell you all kind of tentacles. That's what happened to this. The same thing, exact scenario, exact arrangement. That's what this is 2 years ago. We put this thing on. And what I said to this thing, with that report, if anybody has any kind of report with regards to Mr. Ayuba Nkrumah, all of the Mandingo name they put in that report, anybody had that report? When I was doing the investigation with the Ministry of Justice, nobody brought it up. It never showed up. Now, I sat there, we went through all of these situations. There was a report written from the Ministry of Justice. None of these situations were reflected. Mr. Fadiga or anybody else who had this report did not report it there. That would have given them room to do whatever they did. But because they also wrote a report that I felt that the one on national radio, they sent to OKFM or other places, I felt they malign my character. So I took a lawsuit against them. I felt because these things they're talking about was hush, 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 hush. So I said, okay, you know what? Let me take a lawsuit. Let me go to court. So the guys will be forced to bring these reports, these so-called connection with cartel, they will bring it out. Nobody brought it. Everybody escaped the law process, the court process, and the service was done. The fact that they could not come to be brought under the jurisdiction of the court the way they should be done by the civil procedure law, they got judgment. They had chance to come and produce it. We had judgment. Then they had judgment, time to enforce the judgment. Everybody started finding means to go to tribal situation, religious situation, and while we're discussing the religious situation, we're going for enforcement. Somebody ran to the Supreme Court to ask for error, a rate of error that they were not said properly and blah, 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 and the rest of it. But that is history. For me, I didn't want 1 cent from them. I just wanted my record clear because you know what? I'll tell you this about on this national platform. I work hard for the integrity that I have. Be honest with you, my grandfather was paramount chief in Ganta. And I would not allow a bunch of nobodies to come to use that Nkrumah name and spell it into the Gotos. I'm not going to do it. I told them last night, I appeared on the Spoon TV last night. I told them, I said, look, you have to, my lawyer is now writing a report now to actually get them to either bring the author, because I said to them, I know the author. The author was Mr. What's his kid's name? Fadiga. He was the author. As far as I'm concerned, and I told Rodney, I dared you. I dared you. I look in my face and tell me Fadiga is not the author of this thing. He could not. He disappeared from the conversation.
No, Mr. Nkrumah, we are fighting 19.2.
No, I come to that point.
Yeah, I think you have to lower the volume of your.
So my point is, I saw the steps that Rodney and Mr. I saw Rodney and Mr. Waterspoon and all of the reports they were putting up. I saw it was a good nationalistic instinct. As they were going through, getting information through these things, I thought we were in line. Because 19-point-some million, this is not the first time. That's the second time that stuff coming into our country and leaving. So we thought to investigate. First, before we got to the place there was $100 million drugs. We went through that. I was even going to put up for indicting the unindicted conspirator. That was some of my stand I took, probably led me into hot water. So to see that 19-point-some, the first one I understand was $30-point-some million worth, and this one 19%. To see those kind of things coming to our country, I would not be sitting at the DEA when that nonsense passed through the DEA. To be honest with you, I can tell them all of that. The cartel, whatever you call them. I prosecuted Mr. Japan. I prosecuted him. Matter of fact, I was subpoenaed to appear in the court to actually be cross-examined by defense lawyers. I did that, and I flogged him. The guy went to jail. So I will be affiliated or associated through any one of those and job. I mean, now this time around, you are on the footprint of getting to the source of your drug situation. So who else you doing? You first you throw out the vice president picture standing with somebody. Then the next thing you look, you throw A.B. Kroma standing in my yard with a guy who is Mr. Kroma. What's his name? Ayuba Kroma, who has been assigned with the Honorable Yeke Koluba, who are left at the DEA, working in the operation there with Anthony Sow, and every other person that came to the DEA, he worked for them. And he worked diligently. He was never suspended for any drug-related issue. He was suspended for publicly exposing issues that he was privileged to, as far as the arrest of Boko Raw or other situation, not drug-related. So to come now and use in one of those youth tantrum to put the guy picture in my living room and then wrote narrative on the guy to show that what A.B. Kroma is. No, that's, if I can say this French on your radio, that's bullshit for me as far as I'm concerned. But I told them last night, if you do not bring the author of that nonsense, I will file a lawsuit. And I don't wait, but I've already told my lawyers to start researching, looking at the information. I got what I've gathered for him. Stanton said he was sending me the information. I got his document, we prepared to go to court to sue somebody.
Now, why are you taking this so seriously?
Because my the name A.B. Kroma, I've been in law enforcement since I was 18 years old. Now, I've just been appointed as chairman of the Lisa Mining Institution, where I'll be dealing with a bunch of people who are plundering our country. Now, that's integrity problem. That's trust. You can't come and throw my name in this nonsense that would not make sense to the 10-year-old or the 5-year-old there. You explain to them that Mr. Ayuba, you talking about A.B. Kroma left the DA 2025. This is 2026. Well, all of what was there, these so-called intelligence reports did not surface anywhere. Now I have a national responsibility. You throw it there, you put somebody.
Let me come before my colleagues can come in. You know exactly the author of the report, Mr. Kroma. Mm-hmm. You know exactly the author of the report.
Yeah,
this is somebody you had some beef with. Why can't you direct your lawsuit at him instead of trying to draw in the front page Africa and all
let me tell you. You gave what's this guy's name? What's his kid name? The guy with his foreign name. What's his name? Mr.
Okay.
No, there's Fariga.
Oh.
If he gave Fariga Kinju, getting two drum of Kinju.
Yep.
Yeah, please.
Speak to him,
yeah.
If you gave Fariga 2 drum of Kinjus, he would never try to come directly to Malami. Because the reason why I did not go after the enforcement order, go follow up on that whole error, rate of error, because I had intervention from family relationship and people at a higher up in the judicial process. So I would not. So he gave him drunk. So the fact that he didn't do it, he's not the author of the situation. He wrote it. I know he wrote it. I got evidence that he wrote it because he's written it before. You can check the annals of most of you guys here when this process is going on between him and myself. He wrote a bunch of lies. He sent it out to the folks in the print electronic media. He would not write it out. When you define somebody's character, it requires somebody who put it up. You can write everything and keep it on the table. Nobody will hold you. But when you who communicating it and claiming it to be intelligence, when the fact that nothing was reported to the president's office, like they said, nothing was sent there. Zero. This situation was just ChatGPT They added this same information they had long time ago. They just put it in ChatGPT and get prompt.
Okay, finally,
Start
from my
getting
end, before I go to my colleagues, you made a statement, Komakuma. You said you have never been at the DA for this
Nonsense.
to pass.
Yeah.
Now, in another word, are you saying that your removal was a great mistake, maybe by the appointing power?
No.
Uh,
No.
Because if you were there, this drug would have passed. In another word.
Let me tell you something. The president has got the authority. How do you give this authority to hire and fire? Now, we were fired for administrative reason, allegedly having conversation or having kofofo in the office, and I take that responsibility. The fact I didn't handle it administratively, I didn't play that role that I should have played at the time, I take full responsibility, and I told the president that. But the issue of drugs and all of these situations that we had, my records are clear. You saw exactly what we did to the Japan case. Japan was one of the most robust drug push-up in this town. Now, when we dealt with Japan, the kush price went to $200 for $100 when we took over. $200, $250 at some point in time, because it was scarce. Because we blocked the supply, we blocked the distribution, we went out to our folks, we did that. But again, the cartel, the so-called cartel, basically will probably have a different intention as the AB Krumah. When I got appointed, all of the guys who were dealing drugs in the town gave it. They left this country. But again, administratively, I did not do a better job in trying to manage the kofofo that we have.
Okay, let's go there. You listen to the Nighttime Heat directed on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat. You're going to watch the show online as well. Also, we are streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Our guest here is Mr. A.B. Krumah, former head of the DEA. Mr. William, it's your turn.
Yeah, so good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Komakuma, and congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so basically, one listening to you could literally understand to some extent that how emotional you are.
Yes.
Upon seeing and hearing the name Krumah in the press for what you claim as the negative reason. From what perspective, especially because I listened to you when you were making some emphasis on the Ayuba Krumah, who is now being linked to the drug case, and based on his extensive relationship with you, so obviously you are also linked by extinction, which is something you deem as very misleading, baseless as well in your description. What specifically you think, given the fact or given the belief of you that this is being orchestrated by whoever, why you think that people should still be going after A.B. Krumah?
Yeah, well, thank you, sir. And I appreciate that commenting on our appointment. And I'd like to use your platform and express our heartfelt appreciation to the president for giving us another opportunity and to showcase our talent and then to also serve our country, especially when it has to do with the natural resources, the plundering, the level of degradation our environment is actually going through. Be that, having said that, there are folks who just don't like A.B. Krumah. My presence in the security sector frightened a lot of folks, to be honest with you, because I don't do drugs, I don't drink alcohol, and I have been a staunch crime fighter since I was 18 years old. I joined the police force at the tender age of 18. And from that point up to now, I've been a crime fighter. I've gone to school and qualified myself to come to this country to serve. There are a lot of folks who will see that as a threat to their own little minute parochial career path they have. So they say, well, this dude cannot be ahead. But there's nothing much you can't say. Everything you said about me is always dropped. Like I said, all of these nonsense that is spreading around on this pew, I'm just surprised. I'm shocked to see a guy like Rodney Seay. To be honest with you, I've already admired his tenacity, his process of trying to get to these things. So now to see that he would take a tantrum a situation that has no validity, no backing, no proof, no evidential base, but somebody took an information that he saw in the press a year or two ago. Somebody took that thing and put it in ChatGPT and start to create connection and connectivity, and you take that as information, as advanced information, and lie that the thing was sent to the president. Nonsense. Nothing was sent to the president. What was sent, what they're trying to do, they are parading an information that had no basis because there's an objective. I was very impressed about the line of questioning, the line of investigative report they were doing. But to now reduce it to information that you cannot substantiate, that you've seen a guy who took this thing aside. Vanessa can't tell me that he has not seen the level of the foolish reporting that the information that was spread out by Mr. Fadiga and the rest of the folks at the time. He saw it. Now, because it's going to ChatGPT, then I put color in there, then I do connection. Ayuba Kruman, they're talking about Ayuba Kruman. When I was there in the DA, when I left, he worked with Peter, he worked with Slaw. Now he was working with this kid who's there now. He's working with him. And at the end of the day, Biako, there's picture with he and Biako. How is that not an issue? How is that not something that you want to take to? So because the guy is there, this guy was malign like that. What is the basis of these things? What is the basis of it? So you because his name is Kroma, so there's a good story you can put away. All the other Madingo name you get there to prove what? To show what?
Okay. Dave, let's hear you.
Yes, so Kroma, I have two questions. The first thing maybe is a security terminology. What is ChatGPT?
Okay, ChatGPT is an AI documentation. Okay. AI situation that you can just put into the AI system and put prompt. You tell it what they want to do. I can take the information. My name is John Brown. Put it in AI and tell AI, say, look, my name is John Brown. Give a genealogy of John Brown. So it will draw you something that beyond that little sentence you put there will give you tentacles.
Okay. Then my second question is...
I didn't know it come here and
no, I understand. So now, I heard you say there are folks who just don't like Abe Kroma.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why they don't like you?
Like I just told you, Abe Kroma he can't be manipulated, he can't be teleguided, he can't conjure me to commit crime. I've never had a chance to do that. And besides that, I've gone to Mecca. I'm an Ahaji. I don't do these things that you guys are doing. And besides that, I'm not hungry. I'm running a 1,480 person man force. That's what I'm running right now for myself. And so I'm going to serve the government now because there's a need to actually provide the level of service. The country needs me at this point. Other than that, to be honest with you, the money that we'll get from the thing has nothing to do with what I do, what I earn on a monthly basis, to be honest with you. But you know what? For love of country, for this president, I have decided to opt to serve, to do what I had to do to actually improve the system as we find it to be. So I've just said, there are still folks who just felt, oh no, this guy, he too clean for that situation. Let's put a mud on him.
Okay. All right, Amy. Thank you. Josh Kennedy.
Amy, the last time I was in media law ethics class, I was told by the late Professor Ahaji G.V. Kroma that libel per se is where someone falsifies information, publish it, and then while I release it through profiteer or whatsoever. Tell me, I'm interested. How hurt are you by this information? How far? Because you already said you're thinking about going to court. How prepared are you really to take this action?
To be honest with you, I'm hurt. My family's hurt. My friends are hurt. They've seen me as a guy who has actually put up, who has availed myself for a high degree of moral to be seen, to be dragged down unnecessarily. There was no reason to have placed my picture on that particular thing. Nothing, zero reason. But to come and find me in that picture, and I asked this guy, Mr. Stanton. I said, look, what is the reason for this? Why am I being maligned? Why you put my picture here? Why you put? Do you know this kid? Ayuba Kruman. He's worked with Honorable Yaka Koluba. He worked with my administration. He worked with some other administration after me. Everybody else who came to the DA, he was there because he's serviceable. He's one of the guys that participated in the rest of Bakura. Whatever that case went, but he was there in the middle of it. To see now that you put the guy picture, and not just putting the picture, you wrote narrative about the guy lying with the cartel or whatever you call them. Now, to prove what? To prove that I'm a member of the cartel or I'm part of the cartel or I do. If I were a member of the cartel, if I was part of that thing, Japan would not be in jail. So what is it you do? And prior to Japan, that's not the only person that was arrested. Several other persons were arrested that went to jail. Now, you know what I am?
You have to get order for okay.
To get me Milan because you have an agenda. I thought you dropped the ball. You're going good path. You had a very good investigative reporting system. You got a person from here, the person from there. There are several people that you had. The path was so unique. But now you're gonna put somebody picture on the national radio without national television, without any basis, without any evidential basis, and then you think you can get away with it? You don't do that to people. People work hard for that integrity.
Okay, let me hold it. Kruma, let's hear from Moses quickly. Moses, you can come in with your question or comment.
Yeah, thank you. Colonel Kuma, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing fine, my brother. I'm not doing too fine, to be honest with you. Moses.
Okay.
I'm not doing fine.
Yes.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So, I want to ask Colonel Kuma a few questions, just coming from the background of journalism, investigative reporting specifically. The publication which we're making reference to, when this document was released to
I'm in the business of setting deterrence. And I called him today to have another conversation with him so that he can know that it is not me trying to be vindictive and me trying to get him to do the right thing. Now, if you took this thing because of the hotness of your news, you wanted to put it up, you can come back and write a journal so as to show how professional you can be. But then now put up this thing and from yesterday up to now, you're silent. One of your guys to call me to come tell me nonsense. I mean, I'm pissed off to see that the level of respect I have has just dwindled down into the quarters.
Okay. All right, Colonel Nkrumah, I'm sure we'll be taking leave of you, but very shortly. But let's try to get you on the broader aspect of things now, to get your professional opinion as well. The fact that I want to believe that the fact that the executive mansion came up to say, well, we didn't receive, the president didn't receive any confidential intelligence report. It just shows that also what was in that report or what was contained in that report, they are close to being fallacy. The fact that they indicated that it was submitted to the president said, well, I didn't see it. It also, also means that what was in a report or a couple of things in a report were not actually close to being truthful. Now, oh yes, go ahead. You want to address
what I want to do? Now that thing is snippet. If you don't have copy of the whole report, the way they did it, I will send it to you, so you can take it. You're old journalist. You've been in this business for so long, and then so I want you to take it, dissect it, put it through the lenses that you have. Let's connect the dot on those issues. Okay. Yesterday they said the LRA also has a report on something which we were not part of that particular report. But the LRA
extension.
yes.
So they will see Paul King. In fact, he was again paraded before court and later on taken back to prison. You, a former DA head, and you've been involved with this sort of investigation before.
That's right.
Do you think we are proceeding well, or there are some slippages along the way?
When this whole investigation started, I was happy. I was happy because there were journalists who were following the leads, following the money. They brought in people from this place. The guys arrested this place. The guys did. I was following that. But to end that, I told one of my men to end that investigation into Che. That's concerning. I thought today when they said before they come on, they spread it around to a couple of folks who didn't. Oh, we got this thing. We got the news. They found out that you got this thing that has nothing to be that 2005 report that you have that did not see the day of light. It's just a gossip line. Somebody took it and put in ChatGPT and start to have connection. Now, let them tell you, what role did Ayuba play? What role did Fanta something play? What role did this Mariam play? Let's see what they're connecting to. Now, if you can't prove what Ayuba did, what he has done in his career at the DA, if you can prove that, then you have a case. But this is the Ayuba guy that worked for Anthony Soul. This is the Ayuba guy that is working currently for Mr. Biago. So he was not fired because he had anything to do with drugs. He was not fired. He had anything to do with the so-called how do you call it? Cartel. He was fired because they said he unauthorizedly gave an interview about his role he played in the arrest of Mr. Buggy Wright. That's what I was told. So then, how is that now a situation that you indict him on repetition with just the innuendos? Like I told you, the essence of this guy, what he guys to do, what is good at doing, is to just put Tendron out there without regard to anybody repetition. They just put it out there and they expect people to actually just, oh yeah, then just to draw some kind of attention towards you at this level. That was the essence of the thing. That was the basis. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take that lightly. I will let you know. You got to prove it. You got to come up with a direct understanding as to why, how 5W and 1H. Let's know that. Since you want to come up, tell me what, why, when, who, what, and how. So we can now see exactly that you have a professional situation doing.
Okay, so back to my question.
Yeah.
I was asking as to whether we are proceeding well in investigation process.
Like I told you, before yesterday, I thought we're on right path. But to reduce it now to 2005, if you want to make a reference to it, so you want to connect it out, you're not connecting that. You're just trying to shy away from the good progress you are making to now into innuendos and gossip and tantrum. And I thought that is not.
I want you to look at it from the end of the investigators, the real investigators, not from the end of the media.
Yeah.
The investigators don't find, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the who, when, what, who, how. As far as I was concerned, that landed Mr. Peter King and the rest of the guys behind bars. Yeah, but there were other tentacles. There were other people that needed to actually how got here, where the drug came from. Okay, how they got from here to the airport, who took it to the airport, and those kind of issues should be investigated so we can get to it. But not going to 2005. Come on, that's something you're making, trivializing a very serious national security situation. Trivializing it to the man. This guy has been in the limelight here. This guy has worked for almost all the director. Now in that report, they connected me to the deputy director, now the acting deputy director. Sure. Yeah, I've never when I was in the police force, that kid was commanded at the red line police force. That's what he was. I don't know anything else other than that. To not connect in that connection of the doubt that they have, just stupidity. In the connection of that, they brought in that kid because they wanted to make a point of connectivity, which doesn't make sense, and it baffles me. A very good investigative report that you have. You reduce that into tendron, into innuendos and gossip. Now, these guys have this information before. They didn't see the daylight because nobody made sense of it. They themselves could not make sense. So to draw a line, they put somebody in the middle of the ChatGPT created graph. It's just laughable.
Okay, Mr. William.
Yes, so I can see that the conversation actually is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Given the fact that anything that bothers him, my integrity, reputation is also, is a matter of concern.
Yes, sir.
But let me take you a little bit on politics.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That man, politician.
No, I'm not a politician.
Okay.
I am a journalist.
Okay, man. I just been facetious.
We report on politics as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Everything that concerns human nature.
Now, let me announce that I now said it will allow the corner.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so former finance minister Samuel Tuoya,
Yes, sir.
describe your appointment at the specialized committee on the fight against illicit mining as opposition, the benefit of oppositionality, given the fact that cabinet. Yeah, given the fact that Kabila Njane in his description that who was once campaigned on by the Unity Party now in government, having given the fact that the government needed to pay his just benefit, that was not done, and therefore the Unity Party used that against the former party or the former ruling government. That was put into place. Now the Kabila Njane honored their invitation to have form part of the celebration in Grangere County. In his descriptions, former finance minister Simon Toye, the government became more heavily concerned about A.B. Kumar, as a matter of fact, also representing that ethnic group. You understand? So the government saw it as a cohesion, better still, to have appointed you. So therefore, you become a benefit of opposition unity. Do you stay with it? Do you believe so?
That's nonsense. All right, I tell you this for a fact. There's a serious issue with regards to our natural resources being plundered by foreigners in our own country, our own citizens. You know my history, you know my record when it comes to enforcing the law. And so there's nothing wrong with people seeing what you capable of doing. There's a crisis. There's clear and present danger with regards to our natural resources being plundered here. And from the perspective of the president, from the view of the president, view of the government, who better person would do than a guy who has served as chief of staff in this country, who served as deputy director of police and deputy inspector general of police, director of CID, and with a master's degree in criminal justice, emphasis in police operation, police administration. Who would have been the better person to do that, to chair such a committee? And so in the wisdom of this president, of this government, there was a need for somebody to take the bull by the horn, and that became the basis for which of my appointment. Not political. I'm not a politician. I've never been a politician ever. The only time I did politics when I was in high school and at the University of Liberia, where I helped to create the Student Democratic Alliance, where I worked for the Student Unification Party militant wing. After those days, now I'm at the university, at the law school, where I'm running to be president of the 2L class. And so those are my historical time. Those are my political time. But right now, I'm a nationalist trying to make sure we have to preserve our country. We have to make sure to protect the resources of our country.
You want to be president of the law school? You wanted to be president of the law school?
No, that's not the question. Let's hear you. Yeah, quickly.
So, just quite recently, I listened to the political leader of the Alternative National Congress, and what he said is a similar thing that others out there are saying, most especially in a cycle of the opposition, that this government is pursuing, people of less portfolio, let me put it that way, in terms of the cocaine we're talking about, and leaving the higher ups who are also connected to the cocaine thing as far as they are concerned. Do you share the belief that there are others who are actually being shielded by the investigators? Not actually the king and the others who are in prison?
No. When you're doing criminal investigation, much sure the drug investigation, you go where the facts, the evidence. What I'm seeing, the police and the security setup following the evidence. Where the evidence lead them, that's where you go. Because that's one of the reasons why cases are not won by people in this government and previous government. You have to follow the evidence. The evidence has to lead you, and the evidence has to leave you. But to just jump to conclusion. And they will step. That's why I say I was impressed with the level of journalistic work that Rodney Sear and this guy were doing. But now, at some point in time, there has to be an investigation of the investigator, of the journalist, because to just shy away from that path immediately and you're going down to 2005, what happened to who, when, where, what? What happened to those investigative things you're doing? How you left from that and went straight to Ayuba Kuman being in picture with A.B. Kuman? And you know my records already. You, Rodney Sear, know my record. You, Mr. Stanton Watterson, know my record. Why are you trying to malign me now? Because you're finding a way to derail and deviate from the good, in quotation, the good job you're doing for the benefit of this country. We want to know. I want to know what happened when the drug came from, how the drug got to the RIA, who is responsible for the thing. Nobody in the upper hill will have the right, will have the understanding to actually stop this investigation. So you don't have to go to Ayuba and AB Command 2005. You got the facts before you. You can go down to that to RIA who handle it. They played a recording yesterday about somebody stopping and somebody doing those.
So you believe, my question is, so I mean, what's about the claims by others that there are some people who have been shielded because of their connections?
I don't think so. To be honest with you, I think the facts should allow.
Is there any reason why you don't think so?
Because the evidence has not provided that to me, and I'm in law school now, so I gotta follow the evidence.
Be careful.
I gotta be careful. I gotta follow the evidence to the best of my ability. So the best thing is the investigation have to lead the way, and to do that, you got to go by evidence that you have, not just go by innuendo gossip, not by tantrum throwing, so that people will think that you're on the right path. All right. So and that's what I think we're on the right course to actually follow through. Eventually the path that we're taking will come to some conclusion, not to go down derailing it into facetious situation because you got some situation.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Colonel. Eddie, come in.
Congratulations on your new portfolio. I want to take you to your new portfolio.
Yes. Hey, man, I thought someone would ask that question.
I want to take you to your new portfolio.
Yes.
I'm concerned a bit not about your competence, your qualification, your leadership style. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about your protection in terms of security, because where you're going.
Oh my God.
Because you're going, the illicit miners are taking over most of so they could have dangerous guys among them to protect themselves over there. What plan do you have in terms of security for your team to go down there? Are you going to ask?
I just signed for my weapon today at the police station.
You're one.
Yeah.
You are going there.
I've written the director of police to provide us protective equipment.
Okay.
And the AFL is part of this particular committee. The Bureau of Immigration is part of the committee. The police is there. So we will have full protection. And I can tell you this, my brother. I'm a nationalist. This is my country. It's the only country I have. When I'm out there, I see you plundering this society, pressing our water for people to be putting cyanide into our water, going through the kids, something, and creating kidney problem for our country. And you think you can stop me? You can't stop me. And I've told all of the guys to point up with me. All 5 of us, we are determined. We are ready, steadfast. We have focus to ensuring that this Executive Order 167 is actually carried on to its fullness. So I can tell you, we are protected. Like I said, I got a couple of weapons now. We're going to go in those bushes. Anywhere you find illicit mining, you will hear the story that we will arrest, we will take whatever equipment you have, you will bring those equipment, we will impound those equipment, you pay the necessary fine, you will stop plundering our waters, you stop polluting our waters, we'll arrest you. Once you find out that you are part and parcel of it, we will put handcuff on you and bring you to jail. I can tell you 100%. So I have no fear. The guys I will ask for appeal. I'm with Tanu. So I can tell you that we have the requisite force to actually address it. The police will give us also support power. The army is going to give us support power. The Bureau of Immigration will give us support power. Any foreigner doing farming or doing stuff in our country, in our forests, we'll find you. We check your status. When you also damaging our country, and we'll find out you're illegally doing it, we'll put you on the first flight for deportation.
There's a serious situation in Grand Jide, the southeast as a whole, with Burkina Bees.
Yes, I heard of that.
Encroaching and farming on our lands. Are you also going to
That's
that?
My first stop will be from here. We'll stop to Grand Jide. From there, we'll stop to Sano Forest. From there, we'll go to Grand Jide. I went to school in Grand Jide, so I know that terrain very well. and I also have businesses in Maryland. So we will go down to these places fully prepared, and we will go fully prepared with the understanding that we will defend ourselves offensively. I can tell you that clearly. So if you're out there, you're not supposed to be there in the first place. We'll get you on our territory for 3,000 square miles. If you're not supposed to be there, we'll get you out.
Let me, before my colleague come in, I want to just clarify something. You're going to shoot on site, illicit man?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
He said we're going to arrest and cuff.
No, arrest and put on cuff.
Yeah.
No, but listen, wait, let me qualify that. We are going to offensively defend ourselves. If you come in there, you're in our country. You come from Burkina Faso, you come down here. You know what the Burkina Faso president is doing to their place as far as natural resources? You know what the neighboring countries are doing with regards to the natural resources? This is how our people are surviving back. This is what all over around the world, God put this thing at the disposal of the citizens so that the citizens can benefit. But besides benefiting, because you got these illicit situation, illicit mind, criminal mind in them, they go to put these sun out, they blast these places, this thing going out, water spring, damage our people, they got kidney problem, all the things coming out of it. That's my motivation. And that's the motivation of most of us going in this particular situation.
Finally, for now, Conor Krumah, the representative of Sino, I'm just forgetting his name. He was in studio here the other time. Alex Noah. He alleged that some members, he didn't say the army, he said some members of the AFL that were assigned at the Sando National Park, some of them are engaged in illicit mining in the Sando National Park, or Sapo National Park.
That has been investigated, and I'm told that the AFL has taken strong action towards removing some of those folks that the AFL is taking action, and we'll have people on our committee that will be going. I had the opportunity to speak to the chief of staff already. Okay. I've spoken to the director of police. So I just left the director of police this evening. So they are all motivated, they're all enthusiastic as to addressing this issue, because it is a matter of national security, my brother. So we have to do that. And the most impressive part was that the director of police is committed to doing it. And like I said, I just found from a service weapon that they had in there for a little while. So I got that done.
Is it AK-47 or?
No, I'm not going to tell you about that. So I can tell you this for free, though. The director of police is committed in helping in this process. The chief of staff is committed in doing it. The immigration commission, everyone is committed. And then the DEA folks that are supposed to give us a technical situation, they're all committed. The mines and energy folks are willing, prepared to actually help us in the process.
Okay, so finally, Moses, let's get to your last question to Eddie.
Yeah, Command, let me just piggyback on the discussion you guys are having. First, let me say congratulations on your new preferment.
Thank you.
However, I have a different take.
Okay.
And the take I have is the role of the Ministry of Mines and Energy.
Yeah.
The EPA.
Yeah.
The Environmental Protection.
Environmental Protection Agency. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So these are entities that were created legislatively. The role of the ministry is to manage the mineral sector of Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
That's what our ministry was established for. And over the years, they did that efficiently.
Okay.
The EPA also has similar responsibility.
Okay.
Protecting the environment.
Okay.
I'm saying this to say that to have a task force headed by my own brother, A.B. Krumah, to duplicate what these entities are already doing. Don't you see redundancy?
No, my brother, I know you know better. There's nothing like redundancy.
Of course, I know. You don't have to say that.
Okay, all right. So let me stand corrected on that, but I can tell you this for free, though. EPA is part of this process. It's part of this committee. EPA statutorily, the guys who have statutory responsibility, they part of the executive order The Army is part of the executive order. Mines and Energy part of the executive. Matter of fact, Mines and Energy is this is the brainchild of the Mines and Energy. They requested for this particular force. So we're just adding to whatever they have as an executive committee to actually do it. And the president craftily selected folks to actually do it. You know my resume. You know the resume of Mr. Ashford Pugh. You know the resume of Mr. Charles Johnson. You know the resume of Mr. Tanu Colley. You know the resume of Mr. Mulba. So these are folks who are professionally in tune to achieving objective. And we've decided to do that without fear and favor. And that's why we're reporting straight to the executive mansion. I can tell you, with the help of the EPA, who has statutory responsibility with regards to environmental degradation and water, they are part of it. Then you have the folks from Mines and Energy, they are also part of it. So we're taking the role, we accentuating whatever action they will take. And so it is not a duplicate, it's not.
Okay, so finally, does your committee have, Moses, I thought you ended.
No, so let me just put this to my brother. Kumar, you made mention of the police, the military, the EPA. It's like you're coming back to the same thing I was talking about. Mines and Energy, this is what they have done all the years. EPA, this is what they have done all the years.
Yeah,
These
but
people are accountable.
but Chief.
So Connor,
I want you to go ahead.
Yeah, Connor, just a moment. So the point I'm driving here, these people have performed these tasks effectively all the years. But to have another entity of government with the same people represented on the same entity, are we not unnecessarily expanding the government, causing more financial hardship for our people?
As a comrade.
Yes, before you were even born, last month Energy was doing this.
Okay, so Mr.
Wait. You know, comrade, you know you must go a long way, right? And I have serious respect for you. Because you know the thing about the whole thing, you stay too long in America. I think you should come back home and see what is happening to our country. If you are here to see what is happening in the forest there, our Sapo National Forest has been, the environment has been degraded. You have people who are plundering, foreigners are plundering. Sooner or later, this will be the national emergency that it has now. It will surpass that. The folks have been driven from Burkina Faso because of the action that now in Ghana they have the army. Irrespective of all of the statutory responsibility assigned to lands and mine, all of the in those countries, but because this is gold, it has to do with mineral. People come with different weaponry. The Ministry of Lands and Mines and Energy, the Ministry of Mines and Energy, they don't have military there. They don't have weapons there. They have a guy like A.B. Kroma there. They don't have a guy like Alfred Pugh. They don't have all these folks there. So to actually address the situation on the head, basically the government, in the president's wisdom, to take some action to curtail the proliferation of illicit miners. You got people from China, people from India. Everybody's down going to our forest. You check, because our country is rich, God has given us all of the natural situation. You go dig beyond anybody who's in Basso, in Nimba, in Lofa, all around the place, people digging where the people excavator to dig. They take a lesson from Lands and Mine for Class C lesson, then they go do Class A mining. Our country has been damaged, bro. You sitting there, you gotta come leave out Philadelphia and come and see what's happening here. And that's one of the reasons why we're taking this action in Delaware. Yeah, I know. You are in Philly there at one time, but in Delaware, leave out Delaware there and come and see what's happening to our country. So if we said now that this government should not take this action, leave it with these folks. I mean, I know this brother, I know him very well. The man, a journalist, way bad journalist, man. So he's sending this question. He expressing this thing because he wants to get some information about it, and I send it. The reason why he do this thing is because he wants us to provide it. And I will take pictures. I'm on my way to the southeast, and from there I'll be going to the western part of Liberia. of the picture and send it to your personal mail so you can see what is happening to your country. That you
Okay,
left behind.
finally.
Yes, so far on the corner picture very kindly.
It's 9:32. We should have left by 9:30.
Yeah, please.
You know, those involved into our money sector, I mean, one could describe them similarly as those involved into the drug, you know, almost like they have
Almost
a
the same.
cartel. They have a very irresistible financial influence.
Yes.
How prepared, you know, to what extent can this committee, committee being established on executive order, you know, be able to resist these kind of financial, you know, influences? And what is your envelope size as a community?
Look at the guy, how big you man. You want to explain to you on my envelope size. That's a good question. That's a good promotion thing. When they tell you as that way, so you go back, use a journalist's lens, and see if you can get a final measure to give more money, right? And what you doing about?
No, but the point is, the first thing now someone got to influence.
No. We're not going to go do that thing. You, myself, we can get that. No, we'll get to the point where we've gotten our. We're still trying to work through the system because this has to go through the financial laws of our country. Whatever money we will get will be clearly stated.
So you have an office space as well.
We're still looking for office space. We're operating from the.
So
from
do
the
you have
marshal right now.
logistics like vehicles?
We're going to get logistics very soon, but tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
So currently using your private
EPA just
vehicles.
bought 800,000 bright building.
Exactly.
Space there.
So no, they do have the EPA said there's a building next to them. They want us to see if we can look at that
outside.
and see if we can go there. We're working on that, but we need to get the cash before when you go to somebody I want a house. Money gotta be in your pocket before you go do that. So we're working around those things. So we will get there. So I want Sandy, my man Sandy, to come. I mean, I'm an old time friend. We've been friends long time. He hasn't seen this country in a little while. He's sitting in the Delaware eating a lot of stuff. So now he come talking and stuff. So you gotta come and see this country he left behind. And we're trying to see if we can save the country at this level. And I can promise you on this podium, I can tell you in this platform that the best you will have from this committee. I can tell you that. And then again, I want to express my appreciation and understanding to the president and the government, including the vice president of this country, who has taken seriously this issue. That we will not, the Liberian people would see the best of us at this time. I mean, we'll get to the best of us.
You think the intelligence report poses a threat to your new job?
No, it doesn't. What this is not an intelligent report. This is tangible. That's nonsense. It's not intelligent report. This is nonsense.
And we want to thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to appear on the program.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All right, that plays out.
Let's start. Five, four, three, two, 1, 0. Let's start. Let's start. Five, four, three, two, 1, 0. Let's start.
Okay, so welcome back to the program. The nighttime heat right here on Prom FM 105.5. We're just, in conversation with Tono A.B. Kroma. He's trying to distance him and trying to make some clarification, concerning the the confidential intelligence report that been lingering around. And also, he went into his new assignment. He was just telling us, a couple of things that they're going to do as well in trying to address the challenges being faced by our mining sector. Okay, so gentlemen, let's try to talk about this quickly before time catch up with us. Today we saw video trending concerning the arrest of a guy called Fode Massacre. We understand he's the chairman of the CDC-COP, and as you all are aware, come July 17, I'm sure Friday it's supposed to be, their planned protests. There has been, lots of debates concerning his arrest. Some have been attributing his arrest to the planned protest, but others know. In fact, in line with documents we've read, he was taking the court basically for some statement made against the managing director of the National Port Authority. Went through the court document as well. Let's try to get this video when he was being picked up.
Why are you running? Simple thing like that. You have been. Why are you running now? Why are you running? Yeah, two.
Police.
Yeah.
Do you know why you got arrested?
Eh?
Why they arrested?
I don't know.
Were there any-
I just keep for a radio show.
Polo, welcome to the media. Quite recently you were on the Heat of the Nation. Can you bring up to speed with why they are arresting you?
I just
and
keep
what
for a
the
radio
risk
show.
is?
I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done. My life,
But have you been able to peruse the writ?
my
And
life
what's
is
the
in the
risk?
hand, and my life is in the hand of the government. Eh? Please, I can go to prison. Please, I can go to prison. No!
So he is being handcuffed. He's been handcuffed.
I'm going to prison.
Inside.
No, please. No, please, I beg you. No, please, stop.
This is what is happening here in
No, I see the red. My lawyer gonna call it the red. I beg you. Stop.
He's requesting his lawyer. So this is what is happening here.
Why you can't read it?
Fode Massacre has currently been arrested by the Liberia National Police.
Why you want to read it? Come on, I'm gonna read it. I beg you, please. You don't know the reason why.
Labrador, so interesting. Okay, that was the voice of Fode Massacre. I think if you follow the social media, Massacre, it's very it's regular on social media. You always throw in some jabs and all of that. But his arrest today being attributed to by some individuals being attributed to the July 17 protest being organized by Stand for Molu. They all been advocating, they all been pushing for this protest. But we've been also reading court's document and indicating that a complaint was filed against him in the court by the managing director of the National Port Authority for defamation and terrorist threat and all of that. And so he's been picked up on that. But let's hear you, Dave, about what to just listen to and what to know about his arrest.
Well, to be very frank with you, Sabo, is it the same massacre was at the hospital during one of the Stands protests?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember we heard the same name. We discussed this on the radio.
Surely.
And it's unfortunate that he has fallen into another trouble. And if you write on social media, we've always said it. The freedom of speech is sweet, but you have to be held accountable for what you say about other people. And it's a civil matter. I understand. As you said, a lot of things about the managing director of the Port Authority, and the managing director of the Port Authority taking flight to the court, and that it's on the basis I understand he has been arrested. So his lawyers will stand for him to see whether, I mean, he did the right thing or he didn't do the right thing. But the thing is that, look, you have to, as a young man, you have to stay yourself out of trouble all the time. Not all the time for the massacre. I don't know. It's a matter of wanting to make yourself popular. You're making yourself popular through that means you continue to feel pain. And that is exactly why you're laughing so much. You continue to feel pain. Because the first thing, we've seen these things, we've read about these things about the past, political agitators, the coming we said, the Marcus Matthew, we know what they went through. And you have to be very careful as a young person and stop getting yourself into trouble. Yes, of course, it's your right to hold the government accountable.
Okay, so let me just read the writ of arrest. And the reason why we are doing this, so because that's the debate in some quarters that again government it's behind his arrest. So let me read it so that we can set the record straight as to why he was picked up. This is the in the office of the Monrovia City Court, Temple of Justice, Monrovia, Liberia, before His Honor El Bembako, stipendiary magistrate. Okay, the crime been charged, criminal coercion, terrorist threats, and menacing, writ of arrest. Okay, you are hereby commanded to arrest the living body of 40 Divine Massacre defendants. Okay, that's understood. The charges are there. Based upon the oath, and complaint of the Republic of Liberia by and through the National Port Authority, represented by its managing director, Sekou Dukle. So it's understood that Dukle filed, these actions against them. Okay, you can go ahead.
So I'm wondering why people are attributing it to a planned protest of stance. For the massacre is not a head of stance. For the massacre is not the one who was organizing the planned protest. It's Mobile Modu and his stance. If he's a member, if somebody.
Now, but the question is, you think you think it was necessary, or you think it's timely? Let me put it that way. You think his arrest is timely, given the fact that they got this protest on 17th July?
Well, it's just a coincidence. The protest is underway, and at the same time, if he has fallen in trouble. So not because a protest is coming and somebody is taking a court, he shouldn't be arrested.
Don't you think it's been misconstrued now that when the protest is coming, this guy is a major player and in the whole protest planning?
People have the right to opinionate, Sabo. People have the right to see things as they see them. We look at things from different lenses. There are people, the only lens they have is political lens. Everything they see it from a political point of view. But this is the law. A Liberian, a fellow citizen has sued you because you're written things that threaten his life. You said things that threaten his life. So he has taken flight to the court. To seek justice, so to make sure, because as far as concerned, he's threatening. And when the court can look into that, whether he's right or wrong, or whether Foley said or Foley didn't say that. So the fact that a protest is coming, and at the same time, a man who's supposed to play a major or a pivotal role in the planned protest shouldn't be arrested when he has fallen in trouble. So it's just a mere coincidence.
Okay. Let's hear you, George.
As a matter of fact, I don't want anybody to try to link this thing to the protest, because it's a protest organized, because the protest itself does not have the kind of traction that people
You dismissing the people protesting?
I mean,
that doesn't have any traction?
Yeah, you can see there's no momentum. It lost momentum. That's what I mean. Yeah. So the issue is, and I like what the MD did. On his page, he said it. Even on his page, what he did was to have posted this evening that the law is the law. We'll go to court, you answer to what you say, because the man did not want to use his whatever authority. He decided to run to the law. Part of what Mr. Masakwe have been saying over time is that, the MD of the board.
But can you separate him from the government?
Well, that's why they say Republic of Liberia National Port Authority forces through the National Port Authority forces. And that is why the matter is not a civil matter, because one of the charges is terroristic threats. So it's not a civil matter. That is why they say the state, Honorable Duque filed a complaint, but the state, based on the charges that is seen, the state now is a state and Mr. Duque versus Mr. Masakwe. That's why you saw that rape letter, so it's not a civil matter. Again, it is a criminal matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moses, let's just get your take on this.
Yeah, very interesting. So let's try to get something straight in here first. I heard my brother David Tagwe saying that what happened today was a coincidence. How did he derive at that?
You want me to answer that?
It is difficult for anyone to say if it was either planned or it wasn't planned. If it wasn't planned and it coincided with the coming of the protest, then we say it is a coincidence. But don't forget now, we have the managing director who is a member of government. So critical voices will say the judiciary is being weaponized against people the government consider to be critical voices. And Duque could have been used as a stepping stone. I cannot say yet that the government planned to do this. I also cannot say it yet and say that it was a coincidence. But what I can speak to clearly is, let's look at the two charges against the guy. He's accused of terroristic threat. What threat did he make? Did he threaten to kill the NPA managing director? Did he threaten to harm him physically? Did he pull a weapon? Did he pull a knife to say, hey, I will stab you? When you do stuff like that, you are charged with terroristic threat. Did the court explain the threat this man made? They left it vague. Terroristic threat. Did he threaten to set the man's house on fire? Did he threaten to go to the NPA? To attack him violently? The court never spoke to that. And then they also accused the man of what? Criminal coercion. Another vague charge. What is the court talking about? When you coerce, you force somebody to do something against his or her will. Criminal coercion. Did this guy say, look, I will do this, I will harm you if you don't do this? Did he say that to Mr. Duque? The court must come and explain what it means about these charges. The coercion, the terroristic threat.
Okay. Let's
so
read it.
the fact that
let's read it.
Yeah,
Moses.
the first apparently Moses did not hear your question that caused me to say it's a coincidence. Your question was, is it timely for Mr. Masakwe to be arrested at a time a planned protest of which he's a part is pending? It was on that basis I said, it is a coincidence. It's a coincidence because he's a key player in the planned protest. And just in less than maybe a month for the protest, he's arrested. That was the question, right? That's what I said. Yes, of course.
No, in less than days.
Less than days. He's arrested.
About
So
Friday, the
do you think that it's timely to have an arrest?
And you
I said,
said it was a
well,
coincidence.
It's a
Okay.
coincidence. That's
Yeah,
what I
I
said.
So,
Now that I don't know the
I don't
word.
know.
Yes,
you
tell
know.
me, Mr.
I don't know, Mr. Sandy wants to prosecute the case on the radio. So he's asking the court to explain the charges. This is outrageous. I don't understand. Mr. Sandy is not against Sonny. These charges will have to be proven in court, Mr. Sandy, in court. So you want the judge to come, he said the judge will explain. You want the judge to come to Prime FM to you. Yeah, and explain
to
or
you.
call you. If I hire a number, okay, I'll go in the chat room again, your number to the judge. Let him explain to you. Look, I mean, Mr. Sandy.
All right, let's go to Mr. Wion.
The man want to be critical,
Yeah.
but
So, I mean-
sometimes he doesn't know what to be critical.
I mean, the standpoint of Mr. Sandy. No, it's a bit comical, but it is real, right? He does not mean to say, oh, look, the court or the judge should pick up a telephone call and call and say, oh, Mr. Sandy, this is why it means, or this is why it doesn't mean. I think he won at this point for public officials, and this is why I also share similar view. Public officials, once you sign up to public offices,
Hold the line.
once you sign up to public offices, there are certain rights you waive. There are certain rights you waive. And the reason why you got to waive certain rights, it is because you are serving the public interest. So in that process of serving public interest, there are times where people, even the public themselves, may probably go against you, may say the horrible things about you. Is that how you're going to carry everyone under the court? No, I come here. Is that how you're going to sue all of them? If you have 10 persons, probably like for the charges, they are terrorist threat, criminal coercion. So if you have over 10 persons, probably sending you, that assuming over admitting a family, what's the name, Massacre. Massacre have said that. Assuming over admitting that Massacre has coerced, probably the MD physically or digitally, so, oh, give me this. And that happened, assuming over admitting. So if you have 4 or, in fact, 10 persons doing that, to the
man, you better have a telecom, man.
Is that how?
You have a telecom. That analysis is pointless. That analysis is pointless.
I'm saying
business analysis.
as much.
Holding public office of that means.
You sign for public office. We are not saying it is not your right to sue. No, that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to. It is required upon you to waive some of the rights.
Even when your life is at risk, when somebody says you are put your life at risk, you should waive it because we are going to waive it. Who determines it? It's the person who's suing you that determines.
So, gentlemen, let's
the analysis is business, man.
Legal mind.
Very pointless.
Legal mind.
Mr. Famula.
Mr. Famula, let's hear you.
Good evening, gentlemen. Yes. Sorry, I couldn't be in. I'm still locked up behind my desk, so trying to complete some work here. Yeah, but I'm religiously following the show, and I just decided to just weigh in. First of all, your assertions are 100% wrong. There is no law in this country or anywhere in the world that says that when you assume political or appointed position, you have to waive your right. There's nowhere in the world. Not even in the greatest democracy in the world. That's why you see.
I didn't say that either.
Oh my man, that's why you said.
No, I didn't say. I said.
Get it, man.
Donald Trump. Kim, I listened to you, keenly when you spoke. I listened to you. That's why you see today, President Trump, the greatest democracy in the world, he's suing people for labor. He's suing people for character.
And he also paying damages for
crime committed. Where people take jobs, they have to waive that right. No. That's fallacy. Now, to the issue of Mr. Sandy, again, maybe Mr. Sandy don't understand how the court system works. the charges that were put forward against the accused was not brought upon that accused by the court. It is the prosecution lawyer for the court who actually put in these who filed these charges against the defendant. So you don't expect the court at this point in time, when the case has not been brought to trial, to come and start explaining, say, why you put the charges there, why you did this. No. When they go to court, it is when the people who are accusing the defendant will have to now define all of those charges one by one to make sense to the court. And sometimes in the explanations of those charges, the court will even deem it necessary that, look, these crimes are not actually what you are trying to accuse this defendant for. So, when you come to say the court is being muscled to do X, Y, Z, then you're not being fair to the DISCO. Because the court is there to receive complaint. The court does not go out there looking for complaint or charging people.
Okay, so let me hold you there. Let me hold you there because you said maybe Moses doesn't know how the code works. Moses, do you have any counter to that, or do you spring along with him?
Look, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a student. I didn't go to law school. But every one of us here, common sense does say that when someone is charged, they got to state the crime committed. If Moses said he went today and pulled a weapon, God forbid excuse, and pulls a weapon on somebody, threatening to shoot, threatening to kill, they will say Mr. Sandy was charged for terrorist threat because he pulled a weapon on somebody. I'm not a lawyer. And my assumption is that my brother family knows this. That's how it works. You don't have to go to court first before they split to you the crime you committed. They don't charge you without telling you the crime that you committed.
Okay.
So let me just respond to that quick because we actually out of time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We don't have much time.
Let me just say this. First of all, charges.
Shabba, take control. Take control, Shabba.
Mr. Sandy. 1 minute.
If you can take control, so I can come take control.
Yeah.
Mr. Sandy, agree that even the police will levy charges against individuals and power them to court. Now, it is not the court to quash those charges until the matter comes before the judge for trial. It is now the lawyer that's going to argue all of those charges one by one and then provide evidence.
Okay.
You don't expect the court when the case has not been put on the docket for trial for the court to go and start trashing.
Well, let's ask another question.
Legal jurisprudence in the world.
Okay.
My brother family, the lawyer is in error.
Ah.
I'm not going to allow me to speak. Let's be civil here. I'm not saying that the court should squash the charges against the man. But what I
you said the court is being muscled against the opposition.
All right, so gentlemen, gentlemen.
You said the court is being muscled. That's not true.
Listen. I said earlier.
So are you still not taking charge?
Gentlemen. Now, I think we have to do our party comment. We'll do part 2 of this tomorrow. I intend to get stand head Morba Molu because I know you want to speak to this concerning the arrest of his colleague. So we'll do part 2 tomorrow. Rest assured, most of that get a party comment quickly.
Yeah, I just want to say it was indeed a great show, we're able to hear from Konokroma, his perspective. The report by Front-Page Africa, if what I heard is true, then I would say I am troubled by that.
Okay, let's hold you there. Let's hold you there. Let's hold you there. Not much time we have. Dave.
Yeah, Sabah, it was a good show, as usual. And I just, as unfortunately, they didn't give me the chance. I wanted to ask someone what a terrorist strike is when they restricted to someone putting a gun or putting a knife at the person's throat before it amounts to terrorist threat.
Okay, Mr. William, let's hear you.
So yeah, it's been a great show. What I would like to conclude on is that it is always rationally advisable for public officials, not engaging into lawsuit against citizens, especially those who you lead.
Which part of the Constitution says that?
Who you govern.
Which part of the Constitution says that?
I'm saying it is rational.
Some is leading the people, man.
I did not say constitutionally advisable. I said it is rationally advisable. It is rationally advisable for public officials who have signed up for public offices to disengage for issuing lawsuit or taking lawsuit.
Okay, let's hold you there. Let's hold you there.
Quickly. Something happened last night. Some of the callers called last night. I wanted to say this from the opening of the show, but because the time was already gone. Some of the callers called last night. They were asking for Mr. Sandy to be removed from the show. Please don't say that on the show, because Mr. Sandy is an integral part of the show. This show is a show where you see we can disagree with the host. We can argue over points, and those points we respect one another. No confusion here among also your callers. Please, when you call, just put forward your opinion and forget about this man should move or that woman should move. So I don't think that is necessary. Finally, to close now, I will say that holding public office does not mean that you should waive your rights. No, your rights still remains. People all of public offices, people in the private sector, whether political people or not, you should be respectful. You should follow the law in your dealings. Let we all respect the law so the country will be civil. You cannot go, you be threatening people and accusing them falsely only because they help the whole public office, and you say you are opposition, so they should just let you go.
All right, so we'll talk about that more and more. Let me just recognize some of our viewers. Vinicius Ginombai, Nathaniel, that's Nissa M. Jabade. You've been watching. Roberto Richard from the USA. Horning D. Cone, been watching. Kamal and Nibo Senior also been watching. Mario Bro, been from the USA. Ophelia S. George, been watching. Van, been watching. Hakim Jabate, been watching. Hilton Lajero, been watching. Prince J. To, been watching. And the rest of you, we can call all of the names. Until then, join us tomorrow for another fascinating edition of the program. Until Sabo George is my name. Have a pleasant time.